I don't know about you, but I had never heard of the method of loci. But apparently, it's the way the ancient Greek and Roman orators remembered their big old long speeches. And it works like the memory board method. Only instead of associating your story songs with shells and beads on your portable memory device, you're associating key points of your speech with key points within a familiar location. And so you might say, okay, at those two pillars, I'm talking about ethics. In that corner, I'm talking about justice. And by this statue, wisdom. Then, as you're speaking, you walk back through that location, either physically or mentally, by imagining that you are. And as you pass by those particular points, they're like little reminders. And they have all that information associated with them. So you might think that the ancient Greeks actually invented the method of loci. But what Dr. Lynn Kelly taught me is that long before the ancient Greeks, people all over the world were already using this method to remember. Only they were doing it on a much grander scale. So let me Sarah Boothify this for you. In Australia, where Dr. Kelly's from, Aboriginal Australian peoples like the Anangu, the Aranda, and the Koori, they're among the oldest continuous cultures in the world. They can trace their history back over 65,000 years. And it's precisely because in that long period of time, they perfected a way of remembering by turning the landscape itself into a giant memory board. So, for Aboriginal Australian peoples, every significant land feature, it has a name, it has a song, it has a part in the story. That lake has a song. That cave is part of a song. That distinctive rock formation has a song. That special tree has a song. And you associate these story songs with these important landmarks the same way that you associate story songs with the whorls and the designs on your Tjuringa. And Dr. Kelly recognized, this is the method of loci. And these story songs are packed with information, right? Remember our Aboriginal Australian friend Gomeroi Newman? He says that inside this story, you might be told to stop here and make a camp. Or this is where you find water or shelter or food. And what makes this, I love this so much, because what makes this so effective is because you don't even have to be at this site to recall the information. Because each landmark, it's sort of like this label on a filing system. You just imagine the lake and then you recall all the information associated with that site. Just like the method of loci, right? It's brilliant. But it's not all. What's so amazing is that your songs link you from site to site. And that means you can navigate the remote bush of Australia just by remembering your songs. Even places you've never even been, because your mythology works like a mental map. The songs show you the way. So as you travel your traditional routes, following the footprints of your ancestors, you sing the way. You sing how to get from here to there. You sing the trees. You sing the plants, the animals, and the people who live here. You sing your history, your laws, your tribal land rights. You sing your relationship to water, to country, and to each other. And so, as you sing your way from site to site, you're singing your story. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Remember how Gummeroy Newman taught us that even the way you sing the song means something? Yeah? Okay, well, I found out that the amount of time it takes you to sing the song is how long it takes you to get from one site to the next. Now, how incredible is that? And Bruce Chatwin, he tells a story about this in his book Songlines. And he's like, me and this Aboriginal Australian fella, Limpy, we're driving to one of these sites. And Limpy's over here, throwing his head out the windows. First he's on one side of the truck, and then he pops his head out the other. And he's going back and forth like boom, 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 boom. Right? And Limpy's eyes, they're flashing like wild, watching this landscape as it's flying by. And his lips are moving just as fast. When the truck slows down, Limpy slows his tempo too. And when they pick up speed, so does Limpy. Turns out, Limpy is singing the way, but he learned the songs for walking pace, which is 4 miles an hour. And they were going like 25. I was like, no wonder he's limpy. Westerners dubbed these ancient paths crisscrossing Australia songlines. And that's really pretty. Like, I love that word. But it's not really their name. Aboriginal Australian peoples know them as the dreaming or the dream time, and some even call them dreaming tracks. But the dreaming, it's more than just a way to navigate country. Each story song in your dreaming, it's like this mini guide that helps you navigate life, right? So you're singing your morals. You're singing your way of life. You're singing your respect for nature, for each other, so that you get along, so that you can find the way. And so you're not so foolish and short-sighted that you poison your home with radioactive nonsense. But you're also singing so you won't forget.